Okay, we are doing a preemptive live for my brother. So, this is not meant to be a regular live performance, live gameplay. We're just on here to fuck around while my brother gets ready for whatever he does in his normal daily life. Something to watch and listen to, react to, and basically make fun of me. So, anyways, but I will turn on my YouTube comments. Mind you, I will not be monitoring any comments. Just for the fact is because I don't have my entire streaming setup ready to go just yet. And the humming in the background that you all are hearing is my fan. So, being that I have moved, I'm no longer up in Washington. I'm down in Northern California now. And the humming in the background, I gotta turn the volume down so you don't have feedback. Excellent. Okay, here we go. Awesome. So this is I'm playing on Bear Mountain. This is a it is a non-PvP. It's a PVE only. PVE is obviously player versus enemy, but the enemy is not other players. It is all the elements but other players. It is a third-person map. Here's my character. This is my house. And to give you a perspective of the map, this is the map right here. Let me zoom it out. So this is the map of Chernarus right here. Obviously, north is at the top, south. Ooh, and we got some wolvies getting ready to come in here. Anyways, west side, and you have the east side. These are all the towns. The red circles only indicate these are boundaries we are not allowed to build within. It is no means a PvP zone, which does state on a lot of other maps, but not this one. The triangle marks are location markers. They're not POIs or points of interest, as a lot of people try and say. Here's the Northwest Airfield. Down here is Zelenogorsk. This is the city of Chernarus, or Chernogorsk. We have Electro over here, and up over here, you have the Three Valleys area, which is in here. And Slavetliarsk, God, I have these names. Novodimitriarsk, or Dimitriisk. And then military bases. We've got Tissy, Kamensk, Northwest, VMC here, Pavlovo, Zelenogorsk. There's a Belota airfield, which is actually really big. The original map, it was an airstrip. That's why it shows an airstrip here. Since then, the developers have taken out the airstrip, and they've left a few shitty buildings, and a lot of the modders have done their own twist to it. And we'll take a trip down there so you can see this. Oh my God, they are so loud. They're getting ready to come up here to try and do some harm to me. So let's wait for them to show up and kill them. Oh, there they are. So normally the wolves are just like a brown wolf, like the one I just shot here. My hip firing is a little bit off today. And that looks like all of them. Nope, I hear one down here in the rocks. But they've given different, I guess you could say, breeds to the animals. Typically, it's just a gray wolves is what show up, but they've given brown wolves. We've got foxes. And then they also have a hyena skin, which I don't see in this pack. So, anyways, so we're going to take our hunting knife, which is pretty well banged up. You can see the condition. It tells you what it is. And the condition of the item right here is damaged, so we're going to repair that. We have these sharpening stones, and we're just going to click to combine, and then just hold the left mouse button, and it'll sharpen it for us. Now, on some servers, it will only go to the next repaired level from damaged to worn, but on this server, it just puts everything on one repair back to pristine. And then in order to harvest said animal, we're just going to, with the knife in our hand, we're going to click on it, and it's just going to go ahead and carve it up into steaks and a pelt, bones, and guts. So, and then you can use different items for different things, like you can take the bones, and you can create fishing hooks out of those. The guts, if you get a few of them, you can combine those to make rope. And then the meat you can either hang on to, you can cook it, smoke it, boil it, so you can consume it, or you can just sell it at the trader. But there's so much of it, and it doesn't sell for a whole lot on here, so we're just going to leave it. And we're only going to harvest the pelts. In time, it'll all despawn itself. So I'm not worried about the mess. So, and then there's a trick to the pelts as well, which we'll cover. And depending on what you're doing, it is kind of time consuming. If you're a regular DayZ player, you know what that entails, but it takes a lot of patience and a lot of time to complete a lot of the tasks. So anyway, so once I harvest all these pelts, and then usually what I'll do is I've got a large tent here on my left, which is right there. That car tent, which is secured with the combination lock. And I'll go in and I'll store all the pelts in this. Oh, and I ruined that one. Okay. When they're ruined, you cannot repair them. So there's no sense in picking them up. You can't sell them. You can't do anything with them. But anyway, so I'll store all the pelts in that car tent until it's full. That one's damaged. And now I'll show you what I do with these damaged pelts, since we're on this subject of crafting and fixing items here. So anyway, so this car tent here, I could put a car and store a car inside it. It's big enough to do so, but because of the location of where I'm at, it's not accessible by any vehicles. So this is merely just an item for to have for storage. And then as you see, I've got 500 slots of usable storage in here. Each item is worth a certain number of slots. So that way everything stacks in nicely, and you can look at how many slots you have versus what you need to put in to know if it's going to fit or not, blah, 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 blah. All right, so they make these leather repair kits right here. These you can use to patch the damaged pelts. And you just place them together, combine it, and then it'll give you the left click to repair it, and you just repair it. And it basically patches that damaged pelt to where it's in a pristine shape. I do this, and there's reasons to doing it. If I'm on my way to a trader to exchange these pelts, and if they're in a damaged or even badly damaged state, if I get attacked, even if I fall and break my leg, there's a chance that those pelts can become damaged or even ruined from my actions. So that's why it's always a good idea to repair those items. And there's more wolves, but I don't think those are on me. They're over there. I think they might be on another player that may be down there. Currently, right now, there's not a lot of people on this server. This is a 60-slot server, which will hold 60 people. And the left column are the people on here, plus me. And just on the right are the people that I normally play with on different servers. And they will appear green to me, and I'll be able to see their location on the map, kind of like how I see the names. I'll be able to see where they're at and how far away from me they are. It avoids friendly fire incidents, so I don't shoot them by accident. Okay, so I'll just cover this real quick. My weaponry. I've got a Russian-made VSSK. It is a sniper that is self-suppressed, and it shoots a 12.7 by 99 round, which is huge. Let me make sure that that's right, because I don't want to sit here and talk shit about 12.7 by 55, my bad, which is, I mean, still a big round. And this is a collector weapon on here because it's gold. This is a $150,000 gun, which is really good. But I have it equipped with a hunting scope, which gives me a 16 times zoom. So, oh no, this is a 12 times Night Force. And my ghillie's getting in the way of my zooming. But, you get the idea. Normally I have a different scope on here, but when I'm hunting bears from the helicopter, I have this scope on, and when I'm on the ground, I put this scope on. And those wolves are going to be coming for me because they're really loud. And I choose to get on the rocks because they're not able to jump up and bite me up here. Wolves can be very sneaky when you're running through the woods. They will run up behind you without you hearing them and basically attack you. I'm surprised I hear more because normally the second round of wolves that come in are from the first round of the wolves that got away. Come here, puppies. They're running away on me. Yeah, I'm not gonna get them. Maybe. Oh. Yeah, they're way down there now. Yeah, they're running. Might catch one through this field. And that straining noise that you hear in the background, there's the sniper breath that my character has, where I can hold my breath, and even though the gun is kind of dancing around, that's just kind of a graphics glitch. But if you look at my crosshairs, how it's perfectly still, versus if I let go, now you see it kind of move around a little bit. So, and then with the sniper breath on, it's nice and steady, and then you let go and it bounces around. Okay. Oh, that was a good fall. Alright, I'm sure they'll be back. Okay, and then I have these other two smaller tents here. I've got this one here, and then I've got another one up here. And those I store the bear pelts in when I have an influx of them. They're empty right now because earlier this morning I went and sold what I had. Because, it was full. Where's the pelt? Yeah, interesting. Probably because it's underneath this other corpse. There is now and again, see, that's ruined, okay. Every now and again that just the way DayZ works is sometimes your items will fall through the map. through the textured layering. Nothing's perfect, obviously, in the video game world, as we all know. So, that one pelt, you can also, by looking at it, if you look to the left of the wolf pelt, you see where it's red. That indicates red is ruined. And then, obviously, you see that one there, green. Green is pristine. And then they have yellow, and then a mustard yellow for badly damaged and damaged. Okay. So I did kill, here we go. I knew there was more. And then one other feature on this particular server they have, which I really like, which you don't find on a lot of other servers, is they allow you to teleport or TP yourself to the traders, which kind of makes sense, being that there's no fear of combat logging, which means if you're in combat with somebody and then you evade that combat, usually by just logging out of the game, which is a bannable offense on almost every server. But anyway, since that's not an option here, they allow you to teleport, and you just open up the menu, and it gives you all the traders, and then it tells you how much it costs you to do that teleport, 10 grand, and you just click on teleport. But because I have transportation right there under the tarp, I don't really use it. And being that this is my base, I don't have teleportation to come back here. So I have to run. Oh, looks like somebody else found those wolves, or the wolves found them. But I don't have transportation to get back here other than on foot. And if I'm like in fear of dying from a bear attack because I missed something and I'm on the ground where I'm in danger, then absolutely, if I have to, so I don't lose all the items that I have, I'll teleport out. But I gotta remember to mark my location with one of these little guys here, so I know where on the map I'm at. So, and I can usually pay someone to fly me back or whatnot, or if it's not too far, I'll just run. And then to give you an idea what we're talking about running here on this map, this is probably one of the bigger maps in any game that's available. From the tip down here to the from the southwestern to the northwesternmost tip, this distance is 8 miles in real life ground measurement. And obviously 8 miles over to here, which gives you a total of 64 square miles. And actually, I think it's 64.6 square miles for this map. So, but their measurements done by kilometers. Each square is 1 kilometer on here. So, if you need to range yourself, if you don't have a range finder, that helps you also determine how many meters you potentially might be. So, if you are in a PvP situation, you can just do a quick reference so you know how far you need to shoot or range your scope. Which you can do on your weapon. If you look at the bottom left, just to the right of the name of the gun, semi-auto, and this is automatically ranged at 200 meters. And then I can use my plus or minus to increase or decrease my ranging. So then that way I can hit my shots more accurately. So we might have time later to cover that. But anyways, all right, so those are carved up. It's getting ready to go nighttime. So, and I do have NVGs, so nighttime's really not that much of a hindrance. Let me just put these other pelts in here real quick. The last thing I want to do is leave the base with these pelts on me, and then it's more room taken up in my inventory that I didn't want. I'm going to put these gift packs that I found, put them away for later. These are just kind of, they have items in them, but they're garbage items, really. It's just, you know, maybe a pack of shotgun shells and maybe a battery and a canteen. It's just real minimal stuff just to kind of fill things up, so to say. So they do have other items on here that are really cool to get. They have mystery boxes, which contain really fantastic items. That's where I got my gun. Was out of a mystery box, this gun here. So, okay. So let's go look for a bear horde. Let's take to the skies and let's see what we can find. So I got a MD 500, which is my heli of choice. I like it because it has running boards on the side of the heli. So I can put this heli in an auto hover, and then I can actually get out of the pilot seat and stand on these running boards here, and I can lean over and I can shoot the horde on the ground without actually having to land and engage them on the ground. Okay, NVGs are turned on because it's going dark. Oh, I gotta unlock my heli too. And then the heli's really loud, so the modders have given us earplugs, which is basically just kind of a auto mute to an extent, so it's not so loud. So we'll go first person. We got to access the controls for the heli. And then down here is the auto hover feature, which is turned off right now. You can hear how loud it's getting. We can just hit the earplugs and it muffles the sound. Alright, so we're going to take off. We're going to head over to the west side real quick, and we're going to see if we can't find a bear horde lurking around through the woods. And flying is a extremely difficult thing to get used to in this game. I had to learn by flying with the auto hover controls engaged, and it really took a long time to turn them off to be able to fly, because you have to tap your controls, because if you don't, you know, if you want to bank to the right, you just tap it and you'll bank. But if you go, man, you'll go all the way around, and it automatically nosedives you to the ground, and before you know it, if you don't know how to control it, you're crashing. And if you crash, your heli blows up, you die, and it's a waste of money, basically. And this heli cost me $5 million to purchase. So we're going to head over here to that Bear Teak, which is one of the traders. They don't have a TP to, but it's where you sell your unique items. The gems you collect, you can find gems, stuffed teddy bears, Easter eggs that are colored, and each color has a different value denomination. There's Pokeballs, and if you actually throw the Pokeball and catch a zombie or an animal in it, it's worth even more money. I have not been able to do that. And plus, as valuable as those Pokeballs are, I'm more afraid of losing it than trying to catch something in it. Because if you don't watch where it goes, when you throw it, you'll lose it. So there's the boundary of the map, the West Coast boundary, which is that obviously very definitive line right there. And then this is the Bear Teak below me that's lit up, but it's also one of the best military loot spawns in this map. It's also known as Tricresta, or the Western Evac. So, and you're probably wondering, how are you going to find a herd of bears like this? Well, I tell you, it's really not that hard, because just like the wolves, they did the same with the bears. They have all different kind of bears. Now, the mama bears are more mythical design, because they have they have got a red mama bear. They've got the tie-dye, the toxic. There's I think there's 6 different style mama bears, but they have black bears, brown bears, and then they have polar bears, which are obviously white. And when you're in a backdrop, even in this nighttime look, those white bears stick out like a sore thumb. So it's not that hard to pick them out. You just got to be at the right place at the right time. And we got, those are street lights. Okay, so this is a ski resort up here, and if you see the white specks down there, those are actually the tops of street lights that they have surrounding the roads down there. And this area in here, from the summer camp, which is at the bottom of the ski resort, up here to the ski resort itself, and they've actually got lift points up there on the plateau of that hill. It's a little closer. It's all a new addition within the last 2 years, and they've made like this, because it used to be just one big hill covered with trees, and they actually turned it in with chair lifts and all that stuff. And the chair lifts don't work. You can't get on them and ride them yet. I'm sure some modder will make that happen in time. My controls on the for the heli, on the tachometers below. The one on the left is my speed, and then the one on the right is my altitude. I'm kind of surprised we haven't run across a herd yet. And it's sometimes you gotta really be careful, because over time the herd kind of separates themselves, because it normally starts out with a herd of like 35 to 40 bears, and they're kind of like in a orderly march, kind of head to tail, and but as time goes on, they've kind of they drift off into little packs of their own, and occasionally you'll run into a pack of 3 or 4 of them, and you really got to pay attention to your surroundings if you land to carve them up, because you may have missed a couple of them that were lingering behind, and it really doesn't take a lot for them to get aggroed on you, and they'll just charge you, and they are very fast, very fast. And they don't necessarily kill you outright, but they'll knock you down, they'll knock you out, and they'll injure you pretty good, and you'll be unconscious for about 30 seconds usually. And when you come to, normally the bear's not there hovering over you. They've moved on, but you need to look around quickly, grab your weapon, and ensure that you don't need to shoot right away. And then if not, you need to grab your bandages and you need to bandage up, because you usually have anywhere from 3 to 5 cuts, and those are very fast bleeders. Anything over 3 cuts you will die very quickly. So there's an industrial complex right there for Vavilova, which is this town right here. Northwest Airfield, we'll take a trip over that just so you guys can see it. And that's going to be this area right here. You can see where I'm at right here. There's Lapatino, Vavilovo, Vybor, very active areas in normal sense, just because of the items that are around on the maps. Military is obviously the best place to go loot the surrounding area and buildings, because Obviously, military areas will hold better weapons and better armor and ammunition and lots of it. So, and there's really no end game to this game. Best way to put it, the best end game to this whole thing is when you uninstall it from your computer. Because if you get shot and you die, you respawn down on the coast, and you got to make your way back. And if you're with the party, usually your party will grab your gear and hang on to it for you till you can get back to pick it up off of them, and you just kind of resume with what you were doing. And then, of course, you want to get better gear and more of it. So by getting into these battles with other players and you kill them, you go get if you're lucky enough, grab the gear that they had and add it to your stuff. So, and basically you want to become the richest clan or team on the server. And just in order to determine that is by the amount of resources that you hold in your base. The cabin where I'm at is a pre-made cabin because it's only me. I don't need a lot of room. That's why I chose that. But you can build your own facility, which is you can actually make it quite large and quite elaborate. I still may decide to do that. I don't know yet. I can build onto that cabin, but there's really no need to. Because the more room you have, the more stuff you want to try and hang on to and store for, since there's really no reason to become the richest player, why? I just like to come out here, have fun, kill the bears, find the gems. I'll explain the whole gems things later. But right now we're over Northwest Airfield. South Barracks is back over there. This is Industrial, back off to the left. This is the North Tent, right here below us. And then this area over here is known as Bash. And this is the northern end of the airbase. And this up here has got a small industrial, followed by a headquarters and some barracks, different style barracks. And believe it or not, almost all the buildings on here have their own name. And it's obviously for identifiable purposes. Like that rectangular building right there above my rotor blade. That's called a double door. Just to the left is a skinny. And then the next one would be an L shape. And it's just the way they're designed is what gave them their names. There's also a similar building to the skinny, but we call it a civilian. And it's only called that way because it's like a civilian reservist, I guess is the best way to put it. And you can find light military clothing and weapons. Oh, did my game crash? No. Okay. And light military weapons in there. Every now and again, it's really weird. For some reason, my game is freezing up, and I think it's because the heatsink on my CPU isn't exactly really good, and I need to fix that. And I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet. So I'm really, really shocked that we have not seen a horde yet. My. Really? That fucker just shoot at me? Almost all these guns have tracers on them. So it may have been an accidental shot in the air. Loss of, his recoil. He's shooting at something down there. Oh, probably at zombies. So sometimes players get really offended when you try and, even if you have the best of intentions of helping them out, they really get irritated or aggravated, that they want to do it all themselves. And usually they may just pop a shot in your direction just to kind of warn you off that, hey, I don't need help. And it's It's not to be, to try and shoot you down. It's just a, hey, I got this, leave me alone type of shot. Even though we do have world chat, which is, you see the blue writing there in the screen, they could send a message going, hey, you in the heli, I got this, please go away. If you're in a frenzy fight, you don't really have time to say, hey, time out, zombies or bears, I gotta type something out to that dude in the heli. So... Alright. So, I'm going to come over here to this town. And just going to pretend I see a couple bears. And I'll show you how I shoot from the heli here. So, oh look, there's a bear. So we'll go first person and we're going to engage the autopilot on the helicopter. We're going to go back to first person to ensure that the heli is going into a static position just like this. And we'll go back in and we look out the door and it says in gunner position or in gunner. So click and hold and I'm going to get out onto the running board. I'm looking over the edge of the earth here. I'm going to pull my weapon into my hand and basically just aim down. See if we find a zombie down here that I can shoot. Knowing my luck, probably not because none of them have spawned in because I'm not close enough, but... Oh, look, the door. There's one right there. And then you just shoot at it. And I'm kind of close, but I do one up in the air, and you can see the tracer as it flies away from me. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. But anyways, that's how you do that. And then when you're done, you just push and hold the F key, and you get back in, and just whatever you do, once you're back in, don't hit the F key again because as you can see, it clearly reads get out. And what'll happen is yeah, you'll get out and you will fall to your death and die. All the time, your helicopter's just sitting up here in hover mode until it runs out of fuel. So, anyway, so now we're going to disengage the autopilot and go back to third person. And then generally from here... kind of check the surroundings to see if there's any other bears lurking around that I may have missed. Because at which point, some of them, will kind of come back from the woodwork and go, hey, what happened to my herd? And if you land on the ground, they'll charge you and they'll kill you. So you land, shut it off, get out, skin them up, collect the pelts, and all of that other good stuff. Whoa, what happened? Gotta roll myself over quickly and pick myself up. Ooh, that was a glitch. Every now and again, you'll kind of glitch out like that. And that's why I kind of like to have a lot of altitude, because if something like that just happened, I have time to recover the aircraft. Last thing you want to do is panic. And you just want to recover the aircraft. And usually when you go inverted like that, best way is just to roll yourself out of the inversion. You don't want to try and pitch back or roll forward, because these helis will not do a forward or backward somersault. Yeah. But once you get enough altitude, they will completely... You can do a loop-de-loop. And that's why it's easier to roll yourself out of something like that. Because otherwise, you'll crash into the ground, or you'll flip over backwards and crash into the ground. Alright, well, there really are no bears around. This is really surprising. This used to be called No Name Castle. They gave it a name finally. Sosnovi or something like that. Oh, Corona Castle. Okay. And it's one of the bigger castle complexes on the map. There's a few of them like this around. And a lot of them are usually earmarked for event areas, traders, and generally they won't allow you to build within any of the castles. I think there's, including this, there's 5 or 6 of them throughout the map. Alright, well, let's head home. Because I really don't have anything on me to go to the traders with, and I have everything I need. And then for the markings that are on here, I've got home marked. So that way I know where to fly to. For navigation purposes. Huh. You know, the other thing is too is it is getting kind of close to a server restart, so it's possible that the bear hordes have depleted themselves for this cycle of the session. So it could be after the next restart that they've refreshed and they'll be out again. They've probably just been hunted out by everybody. And then just to point out, that building that's right above my rotors right there, that's a keycard building, and they have different ones of those scattered throughout the map. And they all have different colors, green, blue, red, and purple. And you can find these keycards to access these locked rooms or these safes inside that contain a lot of really neat gear, guns, items for your base, building supplies, just all kinds of stuff. Outfits that you can wear. But they're hard to get into to open, because usually when a server restart gets ready to happen, players will camp them out, and as soon as they get in, they will try to be the first ones in there to unlock the rooms so they could get the gear. So I think I've got like 5 or 6 of those key cards myself. I haven't had the opportunity to want to go in and open any just yet. And plus the ones I have I think 3 purple and 2 blue, and the one that I just showed you by my house is a red one. And I'm in autopilot right now because my helipad is kind of narrow, and I don't want to miss it and end up crashing down the side of the mountain, because that's not a very good thing to have happen. So I just like to take things nice and slow getting in here. Yep, that looks good. And come in here and land and shut her down. Okay, I'll be right back. Need to get some water. That's right here. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Okay, sorry about the delay. The damnedest thing in the whole world. Oh, I see why. I'm an idiot. Alright, sorry about the delay. I have never encountered anything like this before. This is the damnedest thing. So my brother was like, yeah, bro, I tried searching, under Lost Boys Live, Dead Nation Live, and nothing's coming up, man. I'm like, oh, dude, you're just not typing right. So I went through everything, and it's like, whoa, it's not showing up. What the fuck? But I know it's there because I'm streaming, for Christ's sakes. So I come out, and that's when I was just in here going, oh, no wonder, that's why. Well, it's because everything's caps. I didn't realize it. So I'm like, oh, dude, we just weren't searching for it right. So I went back onto his phone, to his YouTube app, and I typed it in just right. Guess what? It doesn't fucking show up under any search. What the fuck? So I don't know. I mean, and there's like other people using my fucking name. It's like, what the hell? So, I mean, well, I got 15 subscribers. No shit. Holy cow. I'm popular. Huh. Alright. So be it. I'm going to continue on with my gameplay. I'm not going to let his fake YouTube app ruin my fun. Alright, so gonna stop the stream short because I really don't want to do anything, because the whole point of doing this was so my brother could watch. But because for some reason he has fake YouTube app on his phone, he can't find me, which is kind of amazing and shocking, to be honest.